on a small side street off the Piazza Santo Spirito. Without central Florence's broad, modern architecture dominating the narrow streets, her area was more crowded and unpredictable. She was not the only artist in the neighborhood, though the most popular painters would have more expensive studios across the city. Still, Artemisia had come to Florence with little, and this space was hers. Signora Finzetti had attempted to convince her to come to them so that he and his wife wouldn't have to cross the bridge to meet her, but Artemisia had refused. She would not let Finzetti believe he could control her entirely. She was an artist, one of the blessed and powerful, not a servant. Signora Finzetti leaned forward to peer at her sketch, and she tilted her shoulder to make it more difficult for him to see.
"Is that how you plan to make her face look?"
he asked. "This is a sketch. I'm getting a feeling for your wife's features. I'll block it on the canvas before the first painting session so you can approve the design."
"Yes, but does it need to be so shadowed? You can barely see her."
"You saw how I paint," she reminded him. He had been coy about even requesting the sketch until she had shown him a half-dozen paintings to prove she truly was an artist.
"I don't understand this new style of painting as though everyone is sitting in a dark room," he said. "Where's the light? Where's the clarity? That's what art really is, like San Raffaello. It's healing magic. It should be pure and light."
"The modern style is more realistic, signore," Artemisia said, with a loose rein on her patience. "I want to show things how they are. When's the last time you were in a room that was perfectly lit?" She gestured to the dramatic lighting of the studio around them. Away from the jagged edge of the sunlight coming through the window, there were corners of dusty darkness. "This is where art is going, and it's my strength. I used to stare at Caravaggio's work every Mass in Santa Mar—"
"Caravaggio?" the man scoffed. "That crazy painter who was killed in a drunken brawl a few years ago."
Artemisia pursed her lips and took a moment to add a textured swirl to the sketch's hair. "Artists die young," she said, quoting her father. It was a phrase he'd used in all situations, whether he was happy or sad, celebrating or mourning. The refrain remained the same. He'd said it when they learned of Caravaggio's death. Her father had once been imprisoned with a man and had respected his art, if not his personality. Caravaggio was a notorious bastard. The phrase was not a simple platitude. Art was a manifestation of the artist's soul, and to drain one was to drain the other. The magics that flowed through the brush onto the canvas carried a piece of the artist's essence, infusing the art with their very life. The ability to heal had a price, and artists who were not careful found an early grave. "My friend Belladonna visited Rome a few years ago, and she said his paintings looked dirty," Signora Finzetti commented, but closed her mouth when Artemisia frowned at her. "Life is dirty. You've seen my art," Artemisia said. "I'll make some small adjustments for your preferences, but my style is my style. You chose me. Let me do what I do best." Signora Finzetti huffed, but didn't push back. Artemisia rarely included representations of her clients in her paintings at all. Her art was her passion, her legacy, and following the vain whims of an aristocratic patron was against everything she strained to be. But she needed money to keep painting at all, and keep a roof over her head. A small voice in her head with the gruff cadence of her father reminded her that if she'd married as he'd wanted, she wouldn't need to worry about supporting her lifestyle on her own. She pushed the thought away, locking it back with all the other itching, nagging regrets from her time before Florence. Better to be beholden to a patron for one painting than tied to a husband for the rest of her life. "Should this work be tied to one of you or open for all? That will impact my approach from the beginning.